Hey there, Frank Milborn from 33 Park Media. I'm going to spend a few minutes showing you how to create a Google display campaign that you might use to replace your localized mailers when looking for buyers and sellers in your real estate market. This is a quick down and dirty tutorial. There's lots of details. There's lots of power in Google, but we're just going to try and keep this simple. First thing you're going to need to do, you're going to need to have a Google AdWords account, and you'll go to ads.google.com. If you don't have an AdWords account, you're going to have to follow the bouncing ball to get one created, and eventually you're going to land up here where you'll be able to start creating campaigns and ads and whatnot. I'm just going to jump right into it, assuming that you've had some experience with this. If not, reach out. I'll gladly set you up. So we're going to start in campaigns because we're creating a new campaign. We're going to hit this plus button, and we're going to create a new campaign. And this is going to be a brand awareness campaign. There's lots of choices here, as you can see. But, you know, the idea here is to put your brand in front of as many people as possible in your localized market. So we're going to use brand awareness and reach in this example, and this is going to be a display ad. And let's see, I'm going to use a friend of mine's website. So we shall use, what is this? This is not required, but it's helpful. You'll kind of see as we go along here what happens when we use it. So here we are, we got a campaign, and let's call it local display. And we're going to target, in this case, very specific locations, right? So instead of just entering the United States or a city, we're actually going to get down into zip codes. This guy happens to work out of this zip code in Mentor, Ohio. So we're actually going to choose that zip code. And you can see while we're doing this, we get an estimate from Google on the number of possible impressions that you might receive. What is this? It's a weekly estimate. This is just a guideline. It's not specific. It doesn't mean it's going to be shown 22 million times, but you'll see as we go along how it changes out. So back to locations. We've entered a zip code. We're going to enter location options, and this is really, really important. You want to click on people in or regularly in your targeted locations. If you choose this top one, you're going to waste a lot of money with Google. They're going to show somebody in California who is interested in this particular zip code your ad. Well, that's not what we want to do. We want it to only show in your zip code where you do business. Going right along, we're going to choose English. In this case, we're going to choose viewable impressions. More on that at another time. We're going to choose a budget, and you can really get away with just spending $5 a day on this. And you'll be amazed at how many people come back to you and say, oh my gosh, I saw your ad when I was on CNN or ESPN or any other websites that they might be on. We're going to let it default to optimize, prefer best performing ads. Again, out of the gate, we're just going to select all days. This, obviously you can choose Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, whatever the case may be. We're going to leave this as starting today. We're going to let Google Ads optimize how often our ads are shown. We're not going to bother with exclusions at this time. And now we have an ad group. But you can leave it at default ad group 1. No harm in that. You can name it, something clever. Or you can name it the city you're going to be targeting because this could be done for multiple cities, multiple zip codes, so on and so forth. Here's where it really starts to get powerful. Who do we want to reach? We are able to, we're going to target homeowners. I'm guessing you're selling real estate. Targeting homeowners is probably a pretty good idea, right? But you can also target people who are looking for mortgage loans. You can target people who are interested in real estate. The idea with this one is, we're going to target all the homeowners in a specific zip code because those are the people that are going to be buying and selling real estate often, obviously, except for first-time buyers. So this is a good start for us. We also, next we're going to hit demographics, right? So we can choose gender, age, parental status, and a household income. For this, I'm a big fan of deselecting unknown. If somebody hasn't put in whether they're a male or a female, it just isn't worthy. So we're just going to click that unknown. As far as age group, same deal, unknown. More than likely, you won't be targeting 18 to 24-year-olds or 65 plus year olds, but this is entirely up to you. I'm not concerned with whether they're a parent or not a parent or unknown for parental status. Household income is a big deal. If you live in a higher and socioeconomic spot, maybe you're going to want to target higher income owners. Perhaps not, but I'm definitely going to uncheck unknown and uncheck lower 50, guessing possibly that those folks are not, won't qualify for purchase of a home or a mortgage. Totally up to you on this. And we're going to click done. Target expansion, we're going to leave that at default and enter your viewable cost per thousand bid for this ad group. I'm going to say I'm willing to pay $2 per 1,000 views of my ad. This you can test. This is typically where I start. Just because it says 2 doesn't mean you'll spend 2. But it's a good way to not spend $10 per thousand views. And now we're going to create some ads. Now I have, and we're going to create a responsive display ad. I've gone ahead and prepared some assets, some digital assets, pictures and logos and whatnot, just for this example. But let's start building out an ad. This wants probably an HTTPS : / Yep. So this is his URL. And we're going to choose some images and logos. Like I said, I already had some prepared, so I'm going to, this will, actually, I'm sorry, let's go back to this. This will scan a website with images. It's pretty rare that it comes up exactly the way I want it to show, so I prepare images ahead of time when I'm building out these sort of ads. So let's go to Google Ad Training, and we're going to choose these 3 images to build out this ad. And you'll see how these things work. This is the logo that we're going to use. Fantastic. This is the square image that we're going to use. And this is the landscaped image that we're going to use. So you need 3 images to build out this responsive display ad to accommodate all of Google ad display formats, depending on where your ads show out on the web. We got a logo, we got a square image, and we have a landscape image. And you can see there's aspect ratios here. I typically use 300 by 300 pixels for the logo and the square image, and 600 pixels by 315 pixels for the landscape image. Seems to work quite well. So these are the images we're going to use. We're going to click Save. And voila, slowly but surely you're going to see that our ads are going to start populating. And we're going to put in a headline. In this case, we're going to say, well, actually, yep, let's go seller's agent. And then we can add multiple headlines, up to 5, that will rotate in your ads. Over time, Google will show the best performing image and text combinations on a regular basis. It'll do that automatically through their AI. Feel free to add this: seller's agent, buyer's agent. Let's see, relocation specialist, and on and on and on. You get up to like 5 of these headlines. You can see you have some text limitations. You can only use 30 characters. And then we're going to put in a long headline, and we'll just say for when you're ready to find your new home, give Sean Stewart a call. And the description can be, oftentimes I find I use the same one, but you can see how it's populating over here. While you're building your ad, you're seeing previews. You can see how it looks in different formats, image ads, text ads. You can scroll through the different formats. This is mobile, right? So if you click on the mobile icon, you can scroll through what these ads are going to look like on mobile. And then if you click the desktop icon, they give you a preview of what your ad will look like on a desktop device. Now keep in mind, these are all different formats depending on where Google shows them, but they're all formatted properly to show up on Google Properties, websites, and apps. Let's go over to Google Properties. This appears to be a Gmail ad. Here's what a Gmail ad would look like on desktop, on mobile. You can scroll through these. So there we go. We've put in our URL of where we're sending the traffic. So when they click on the ad, this is where they'll go. These are the images that we're using in the ad that automatically populate. We've created, in this case, 3 different headlines. And we've created a long headline and a description. Again, these can be the same and or different, up to you. You can feel free to get creative. You get up to 90 characters. And we're going to put in the business name, which in this case is Stewart Team Homes. And we are going to create the campaign. See what else happens, what else Google asks us, and continue to campaign. Voila, our campaign is ready. So once this is ready to check out, you now have, here, let me do this. Let's go to display campaigns because that's what this is. Actually, click on campaigns. This is the little typo issue here. This is our display campaign that we just created. We'll click on that. It'll take us to our ad group, which is Mentor. This could be multiple cities, multiple zip codes. Click on Mentor, and we're going to see our ad. We can view our asset details, so we can see these are our headlines. These are our long and short descriptions. Here are the visual assets that we're using. Close out of this. You can always, if you need to edit something, you can always go back and just click this pencil icon. It'll take you right back to this window where you can make any edits necessary. In this case, we're not going to do that. So really, really important. Once we create an ad, we go back and review our settings to make sure we have this targeting the people that we want to target, right? So here's our ad. We're going to skip landing pages. Doesn't apply here. We're not using keywords, right? This is not a search ad. We chose specific audiences. So, we went and told Google in this case, when we click on the icon, that we're going to choose homeowners, right? And the demographics we chose, we excluded 18 to 24-year-olds, we excluded 65 plus, and we excluded unknown. So we're targeting age 25 to 64. Topics we're not doing, specific placements we chose not to do, settings. I just always review this stuff, right? It's a local display, it's enabled, it's a brand awareness and reach, that's our goal. Here's the location. We can edit this, right? So let's say I want to expand this, and let's go to another zip code that this guy does business in. Simple as that. So I expanded the reach. Oftentimes I'll start out with one, let this thing run for a week or so, and then modify as needed. We don't need to change our bid, additional settings. You can exclude content exclusions. You might want to check this out. We've excluded games throughout on my account because we find that games is just a dollar suck, but it doesn't necessarily provide any more information. You can exclude mature audience websites. You can exclude content not yet labeled websites, tragedy and conflict, so on and so forth. In this case, for a small area, I pretty much want our ads to show everywhere, so we're just going to leave it to these defaults. Just thought I'd touch on it. Locations, again, you can review the location, and in this case, we've chosen Mentor in Painesville, Ohio. The ad schedule, this thing's going to run 24/7. It's going to show on computers, mobile phones, tablets, and TV screens. TV screens is it's pretty new. Like Netflix and internet-ready TVs where ads are starting to show. You're going to find that a majority of your traffic will show up on mobile phones, which again, for a brand awareness campaign, that's fantastic. All we're trying to do here is build that brand awareness. We want them to see your face. We want them to see your brand. We want them to remember that you exist. What ends up happening is you'll be at a restaurant, you'll be at the grocery store, you'll be out and about, and people will mention to you that they've seen you on the web, which is pretty cool. And that's really all we want to have happen with this type of campaign. So that's it. We have built out a Google display ad that will show in local zip codes only, branding you as the expert in your field. You can also see a preview here. So this is a display ad. This is a display ad, and this is it's a display text ad. Basically, we're saying that, you know, feel free, Google, if need be, they can show your ad without images wherever it might fit. Because what Google does is they're like, okay, we have all this ad inventory, we need to put it places, and you can control based on your image size and other settings where your ad may or may not show up. Again, in this, we're talking very specific areas, and it's just blanket coverage. So there you go. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at solutions@33parkmedia.com. You can visit our website at www.33parkmedia.com. You can always reach out to me on Facebook. I tend to be on there quite a bit. Hope this is helpful, and we'll see you around. Thanks.